Enki, a formidable god whose name and influence resonates through time and space. He was a deity of immense wisdom and creativity, a god who mastered the waters and the intellect, shaping emotions and destinies alike. Enki is arguably one of the most significant figures in all of Mesopotamian mythology. He is also known as Ea in some texts, with his names being used interchangeably across various Mesopotamian cultures. Enki stands as a pillar of divine strength and complexity. He embodies the dual forces of creation and knowledge, often playing a crucial role in the survival and prosperity of gods and mortals. Let us delve into the life of a god whose influence goes beyond the tangible, touching the very essence of wisdom and life. This is the story of Enki, the god of water and wisdom, and the lord of Eridu. In the twilight of the world's beginning, amidst the swirling chaos of the primordial seas, the union of two gods set the stage for a story of creation. Anu, the majestic sky god, and Namu, the ancient sea goddess whose waters envelop the earth, found in one another an inseparable bond. It was from this bond that Enki, a deity destined to wield extraordinary influence, was born. His birthplace was the Abzu, a mysterious watery abyss located deep beneath the Earth's surface. Here, amidst the dark, swirling currents, Enki's connection to water was forged. With Enki's emergence, the world's waters surged with renewed vitality. His currents and streams nourished all earthly life. You see, Enki was more than just a water god. He was the very essence of the life-giving waters that carved through the primordial earth at the dawn of creation. This flow did not just hydrate, it was a force of life, bringing sustenance and growth to the land, and a source of wisdom and inspiration. Enki's early years were marked by his mastery over this chaotic domain, from which he would rise to become a guardian of all creation, shaping the destinies of gods and mortals alike. He was also intertwined with the fundamental forces that governed the world. His power extended beyond the mere ebb and flow of rivers and seas. As a god born of heaven and water, he symbolized the unbreakable connection between the cosmic expanse and the earthly realm. Through his divine lineage and his sovereign duties, Enki embodied the dual essence of life-giving moisture and intellectual depth. Every rise of the river brought with it his promise of fertility, insight, and the eternal cycle of life, reinforcing his role as a pivotal figure in the pantheon of gods, who shaped the destinies of both cities and individuals in the cradle of civilization. Enki was commonly shown with a long, flowing beard, which was a symbol of wisdom and maturity. This feature highlighted his role as a sage and counselor among the gods. He often wore a horned cap or crown, indicating his divine status. The horns were a symbol of potency and divinity, which were common in depictions of major Mesopotamian deities. In addition, Enki was typically shown wearing a long, tiered robe that reached the ground, signifying his high status and authority. The robe could be ornate, reflecting his connection to water and the life-giving abundance it represents. Often, Enki would be depicted near or surrounded by streams of water, sometimes with fish swimming around, underscoring his mastery over water and his identity as the god of rivers, seas, and all waters. Sometimes he would even hold scepters, jars, or other objects associated with water and fertility. As a ruler and a wise god, Enki was also depicted as being seated upon a throne, signifying his authority and the respect he commanded among the gods and humans alike. His appearance aside, Enki had a myriad of roles and responsibilities, which endowed him with significant powers that underscored his role as a god of many talents. As the god of water, Enki had dominion over all bodies of fresh water, crucial in the arid landscapes of Mesopotamia. He was believed to govern the rivers, lakes, and seas, particularly the underground fresh water of the Abzu. His control over water was not only literal, but also symbolic. Enki was also renowned as a creator god. He was instrumental in the creation of mankind, crafting humans from clay to relieve the gods of their labor. His role in creation extended to the conception of various other gods and creatures, showcasing his creative genius and vital role in populating the world with life. We'll expand on this later. In addition, Enki was the god of wisdom and intelligence. He was considered the keeper of divine laws and decrees, also known as the Mes, which encompassed all aspects of life. They were sacred artifacts belonging to the gods that allowed human civilization to exist. Each Mes embodied a specific aspect of human culture, such as truth, victory, counsel, technology, writing, weaving, and social constructs, such as law, kingship, and even prostitution. Whoever possessed the Mes possessed the power over all aspects of civilization. He imparted this knowledge to humanity, aiding in the advancement of civilization through laws, agriculture, and even medicine. Enki even acted as a wise counselor who provided guidance and advice to other gods, kings, and mortals. His counsel was sought in matters ranging from divine affairs to state governance. His wisdom and intelligence allowed him to become the god of magic and incantations, possessing profound knowledge of spells and mystical practices. His magic provided him with powers over healing and health. Myths describe him resolving curses and ailments affecting gods and humans, often using his knowledge of magic and medicine. Not limited just to his mind, Enki was also seen as the god of artisans, craftsmen, and builders. He was credited with inventing the tools and methods necessary for construction, agriculture, and other essential activities that supported civilized life. However, Enki's personality is what made him a figure of both awe and admiration. Not only was he wise beyond comprehension, but he was also a compassionate, protective, and independent god, not afraid to go against the decisions of the other gods if he believes them to be unjust or harmful. His independent streak is crucial in myths where he acts against the consensus of the other gods to aid mankind, which we'll get into later. Enki was said to be approachable compared to other gods, frequently engaging with people and deities in a direct and personable manner. This, combined with his sense of humor and penchant for feasts and celebrations, made him a beloved figure in the pantheon. Lastly, Enki's least discussed trait was his proclivity for mischief. He possessed a trickster-like quality, using his intellect and cleverness to manipulate situations to his, or others', advantage. He often outsmarts both gods and mortals, sometimes for amusement, but usually to maintain balance and order. In this way, Enki was more than just a deity of water and wisdom. He was a pivotal deity in the rise of civilization, a bridge between chaos and order, ensuring that from the fertile soils fed by his waters, empires could rise and humanity could reach its fullest potential. His influence was woven into the very fabric of Mesopotamian civilization, enduring as long as the rivers flowed, reminding all of the god who dwelled in the deep Abzu, where all life began. Enki, as a major deity in Mesopotamian mythology, is associated with several symbols that reflect his powers and dominion over water, wisdom, and creation. Each symbol serves to emphasize different aspects of his extensive attributes. Perhaps the most straightforward of Enki's symbols, flowing water, represents his primary domain as the god of fresh water. Images and sculptures often depict him surrounded by streams of water or with water flowing from his shoulders or vase, signifying his role as the source of life-giving waters. A prominent symbol associated with Enki is the Capricorn, an ancient mythological creature that combines the features of a goat and a fish. This symbol is thought to represent his dual nature, linking the earth and the water. It illustrates Enki's mastery over both land and sea, and by extension, his creation and fertility aspects. Enki is sometimes shown with the double helix snake, which may be interpreted as a symbol of his association with DNA, representing life and creation at its most fundamental level. This symbol underscores his role in creation and the profound knowledge that he possesses. These symbols each contribute to a fuller understanding of Enki's complex character within Mesopotamian mythology, embodying his control over natural forces, his deep wisdom, and his pivotal role in the sustenance and advancement of life and culture. Enki's family connections are a reflection of the rich relationships and roles that define Mesopotamian mythology. As the son of Anu, the sky god, and Namu, the primordial sea goddess, Enki is deeply rooted in the divine forces shaping the universe. His lineage imbues him with profound authority over creation and the waters that cradle life. Anu, as Enki's father, not only imparts the majesty of the heavens but also embodies the ultimate authority over the cosmos. His rule over the celestial realms instills in Enki a sense of boundless potential and the ability to oversee far-reaching domains. Anu's governance of the sky symbolizes order and the structured progression of time and space, elements that Enki leverages to bring structure from the primordial chaos. This celestial heritage allows Enki to manipulate cosmic laws and orchestrate the balance between various elemental forces within the universe. Namu, representing the primordial waters, is crucial to understanding Enki's intrinsic nature. As the goddess who envelops and penetrates the earth with her nurturing waters, she provides the essential life force from which all creation springs. Namu's influence makes Enki a fundamental architect of life, linking him directly to the genesis of existence. Her waters symbolize both the literal and metaphoric source of life's continuity, imbuing Enki with the capabilities of renewal and regeneration. This deep connection to the origins of life underscores Enki's role as a caretaker of the natural world and a mediator between the divine and the terrestrial. But it was not only his parents, but also his many consorts that helped shape the world as we know it. Ninhursag, as a consort of Enki, plays a pivotal role in myths concerning growth, healing, and procreation. Her domain over fertility and the earth naturally complements Enki's water, making their union a metaphor for ecological and biological productivity. Their collaboration in myths, such as creating and healing plants, animals, and many deities, showcases a dynamic interplay between earth and water, essential for life's flourishing. This partnership not only highlights their mutual dependencies, but also reflects the ancient Mesopotamians' understanding of the environment as an interconnected system requiring balanced stewardship. Damkina, emphasizing the theme of divine motherhood, brings a dimension of nurturing that extends into the divine lineage, particularly through their son Marduk. Her role in supporting Enki in the upbringing of Marduk, who becomes a supreme deity, illustrates the transfer of wisdom and power across generations. Damkina's influence is seen in Marduk's rise, signifying the continuity of leadership and the preservation of divine order within the Babylonian context. Dutur, though less prominent, symbolizes the sustenance aspect of Enki's domain. Associated with sheep and pastoralism, Dutur connects Enki to the vital agricultural practices that supported Mesopotamian civilizations. This consort brings out Enki's role in ensuring agricultural abundance, linking water management to the fertility of crops and well-being of livestock, crucial for societal prosperity. In addition to his consorts, Enki had many children, so much in fact that there isn't a known number, but here are some of the most well-documented. Marduk stands out as one of the most powerful and central figures in the later periods of Mesopotamian mythology, particularly in Babylon. Representing authority, power, and justice, Marduk's narrative is crucial to the Babylonian epic of creation, the Enuma Elish. As Enki's son, he inherits significant aspects of sovereignty and wisdom. Marduk's rise to power symbolizes the consolidation of cosmic order and justice, as he organizes the universe after his victory over the chaos monster Tiamat. His role underscores the political and theological shift towards a centralized divine authority in Babylonian culture. Dumuzid, the shepherd god, and Inanna, the goddess of agriculture and fertility, represent the vital cycles of growth and decay inherent in the natural world. They embody the themes of fertility and the pastoral agricultural lifestyle foundational to Mesopotamian economy and society. Their narratives often explore themes of life, death, and resurrection, reflecting the seasonal cycles of planting and harvesting that were central to sustaining life in ancient Mesopotamia. Nanshe, the daughter of Enki and Ninhursag, is primarily known for her jurisdiction over social justice, prophecy, and the stewardship of freshwater bodies, particularly the fisheries. As a goddess, she holds a unique role that blends divinity with service to society. Nanshi's cult was particularly revered in the city-state of Lagash, where she was celebrated through elaborate festivals and rituals that underscored her connection to the lower classes, including orphans and widows. Nanshi also had prophetic abilities, enabling her to interpret dreams and omens, which further enhanced her role as a mediator between the divine and mortal worlds. Her festivals often included purification rites, reflecting her father Enki's association with water and its cleansing properties. Asar-Luhi, another of Enki's sons, shares many attributes with his father, particularly in the realms of magic and healing. Originally a local god of the town Quara, Asar-Luhi's role expanded to become one of the significant gods of magic and incantations within the broader Mesopotamian pantheon. His functions were so aligned with those of his father that in some inscriptions and later traditions, Asar-Luhi is often synchronized with Marduk, reflecting their shared characteristics of powerful divine magic and the ability to control and order the world through spoken incantations. Enbululu, yet another son of Enki, is known as the god of rivers and canals, essential roles in Mesopotamian society where agriculture depended heavily on irrigation. Enbululu's responsibility extended to the management of water resources, overseeing the fertility of the countryside through control of water flow, a vital aspect given the region's reliance on seasonal floods of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. As a god who embodies the practical and life-sustaining properties of water, Enbululu's functions reflect his father's domain over freshwater and the life-giving aspects of this essential resource. There were many more children, including the 8 additional children born from Enki and Ninhursag, but more on that later. These children of Enki, through their various domains, embody his expansive influence over all aspects of existence, from the cosmic to the mundane, and from the ethereal to the practical, further solidifying Enki's legacy as a central figure in Mesopotamian mythology. Each character adds layers to the understanding of how the ancient Mesopotamians viewed their world, the natural environment, societal norms, and the divine order governing all. Lastly, while Enki did not have any full siblings, he did have a few half-siblings, the most important of which was Enlil. Enlil, the god of air, wind, and storms, is a pivotal deity in Mesopotamian mythology. As Enki's brother, he wields enormous power over the cosmos and human affairs from his position as the king of the gods. Enlil's jurisdiction extends from the atmosphere down to the fate of civilizations, often manifesting as a strict but just ruler. He is central to the Sumerian flood myth, where his decision to eradicate humanity contrasts with Enki's compassionate intervention. Enlil's primary worship center was at Nippur, where his temple, the Ikur, symbolized the axis mundi, connecting heaven and earth. His relationship with Enki combines elements of conflict and cooperation, embodying the dynamic balance essential for the universe's stability. These intricate familial ties not only highlight Enki's central role in Mesopotamian mythology, but also demonstrate the interconnectedness of life forces, water, earth, sky, and underworld, each governed by deities but linked through Enki's vast progeny and partnerships. His relationships underscore his pivotal role in shaping not only the physical world, but also its moral and spiritual underpinnings, reflecting a legacy that spans from the cosmic to the terrestrial, through the flow of life-giving waters. The myths and tales surrounding Enki are extensive, painting him as one of the most complex deities with a richly documented legacy in ancient texts and stories. Given the broad scope of these narratives, I will endeavor to cover as many as possible, focusing on the key aspects. Now that we have a grasp of who Enki was, let's explore the stories that defined Enki as the wise god of water, magic, and crafts, and his role as a guardian of human civilization. The Tale of Enki and Ninhursag. The myth of Enki and Ninhursag is a rich and complex story from Sumerian mythology that explores themes of creation, fertility, and healing. It showcases the interconnectedness of life, the consequences of God's actions, and the healing powers of compassion and ingenuity. Once upon a time, in the magical and peaceful land of Dilmun, a place free from pain and sorrow, lived Ninhursag, the Earth Mother. This land was so pure that no animal harmed another, and no one suffered from sickness or old age. In this serene land, Enki, the god of water and wisdom, fell deeply in love with Ninhursag. He was so enchanted by her that he asked her to be his partner. Ninhursag loved the feeling of Enki's magical waters and thought about how the dry land of Dilmun could benefit from them too. She asked Enki if he could bring water to Dilmun to make it as fertile and lush as she felt inside. Surprised by her request but eager to please, Enki promised to create rivers and canals in Dilmun so that water could make the land fertile. He called upon Utu, the sun god, to help him. Together, they brought water up from the ground and made rivers flow, turning Dilmun into a paradise where flora and fauna could grow and thrive. Ninhursag was overjoyed with Enki's work and praised him for his power. She felt the life in the land and decided to take the name Nintur, meaning the lady who gives birth. Pleased with himself, Enki wished to celebrate with Ninhursag again, expressing his deep love for her. After some time, Ninhursag gave birth to their daughter, Ninsar, who was the goddess of plants and growth. Enki was delighted and saw both his love for Ninhursag and their daughter in the flourishing greenery of Dilmun. Time passed, and soon it was time for Ninhursag to leave Dilmun to help bring spring to other lands. She left Ninsar in the safe, magical land of Dilmun, where she quickly grew into a beautiful goddess. As Ninsar walked alone one day, Enki saw her and was struck by her resemblance to Ninhursag. He approached her, and they too shared a deep connection. Ninsar gave birth to Ninkura, another goddess who would embody the beauty of mountain pastures. Ninkura grew quickly, and one day while exploring she encountered Enki. Again, Enki was captivated by her likeness to Ninhursag, and they also shared a bond. Ninkura soon gave birth to Uttu, the spider goddess who wove the intricate webs of life. Ninhursag returned to find that Enki had fallen in love with each daughter, mistaking each for her. She realized Enki needed to learn a lesson about love and respect. When Enki ate plants from a sacred garden without thinking of the consequences, Ninhursag decided to teach him a lesson by letting him feel the pain of each plant within him. As a consequence of his actions, Enki becomes ill. Different parts of his body are afflicted with ailments, each corresponding to one of the plants he consumed. His health deteriorated, and the other gods were unable to heal him. Seeing Enki in pain, Ninhursag felt compassion. She decided to heal him by transforming the pain into new life, creating gods to heal each of Enki's ailments. Using the pain in Enki's jaw, teeth, mouth, throat, limbs, and ribs, Ninhursag created 8 gods and goddesses to help alleviate his suffering. This act created the following gods: Abu, the god of plants and growth; Nintula, the lord of Magan and precious metal; Ninsitu, the goddess of healing; Ninkasi, the goddess of beer; Nanshi, the social justice, fertility, divination, and the interpretation of dreams; Azimua, another goddess of healing; Emshag, the lord of Dilmun and god of fertility; and Ninti, the goddess of the rib and giver of life. Each of the new deities takes away a specific sickness from Enki, restoring his health and vitality. This not only cures Enki, but also brings about the birth of several important deities in the Mesopotamian pantheon. Through this, Ninhursag shows not only her power as a mother and a creator, but also her capacity for mercy and healing. Through this act, Enki learned the importance of responsibility and the depth of Ninhursag's wisdom and love. Enki realized his true feelings for Ninhursag were deeper than mere attraction. She was his equal, his partner, and his guide. They reconciled, acknowledging their deep bond, and promised to stay connected, no matter where their duties took them. Thus Enki learned to respect not only Ninhursag but all life, understanding the responsibilities that came with his powers. And Dilmun remained a paradise, a testament to their love and respect for each other and the world around them. This myth underscores several important themes in Sumerian theology, including the interconnectedness of nature and the divine, the consequences of actions within the natural world, and the restoration and balance brought about by female divinity. It highlights the roles of Enki as a wise but fallible god, and Ninhursag as a powerful creatrix and healer. This story also emphasizes the Sumerian view of the world as a place maintained by the balance of divine forces, where fertility and abundance require both male and female energies. The creation of man. In the early days of creation, the gods worked endlessly to shape the world. Their labors were overwhelming. In addition, the world the gods had created was too quiet, lacking voices to sing their praises or hands to build temples to honor them. The world needed inhabitants, beings who could appreciate the gods' work, enjoy the bounty of the earth, and pay homage to the creators. Enki, the god of wisdom, full of innovative ideas, proposed a bold plan. "Let us create beings in our image," he suggested, "creatures who will share some of our duties and celebrate our accomplishments." This innovative idea piqued the interest of the other gods. Enki envisioned a partnership with these new beings. They would cultivate the earth, enjoy its fruits, and in return, honor the gods through temples, prayers, and rituals. This led to a divine decision. The gods would create life forms capable of worship and devotion. This act of creation was not merely functional, but a profound sharing of their divine essence with beings made from earth and water. Thus, the stage was set for the dawn of humanity, opening a new chapter in the cosmic saga that would forever alter the relationship between heaven and earth. In creating humans, the gods sought to populate the world with beings capable of love, creativity, and destruction, mirrors of the gods themselves. The creation of humans was to be the gods' most significant achievement and a lasting legacy, showcasing their power and compassion. However, creation also brought unpredictability, and the story of humanity would unfold as one of deep connections and inevitable conflicts. Ninhursag, the benevolent earth goddess, partnered with Enki in this monumental task. Together, at a place where Enki's watery domain met the fertile earth, they began their creative work. Ninhursag collected clay from the riverbanks, a gift from the earth, while Enki, with his life-infusing waters, prepared to endow their creation with vitality. As they blended clay and water, a divine spark ignited within the nascent forms of the first humans. A gentle breeze bestowed the breath of life upon them, awakening their souls to the world. These first humans looked upon their creators, silently committing to a bond of guardianship and reverence. But the vastness of the earth and the endless skies called for more than just humans to fill their expanses. From the same clay, Ninhursag and Enki also crafted animals, creatures of the land, sky, and water. Each animal, distinct in form and purpose, was designed to coexist harmoniously with the earth and its human caretakers. Lions roamed the savannas, birds soared through the skies, and fish swam in the rivers and oceans, each living true to its nature. The gods envisioned a world bustling with life, diversity, and beauty, where humans and animals would together steward the earth, a sacred duty bestowed by Enki and Ninhursag. This ensured that the bond between the divine and the mortal realms would be preserved through the ages. A new day dawned on this vibrant world, filled with the voices of humans and the symphony of nature, singing in harmony to the gods who had made it all possible. The Anunnaki observed this lively world they had shaped, now full of life, capable of worship, love, and all the complexities of existence. The Deluge. The Deluge is the famous Sumerian flood myth that we've heard time and time again. For a more complete version of this story, check out my video on the Eridu-Genesis. As for this video, I will simply summarize it. As civilizations grew and thrived, the noise and chaos of human activity began to disturb the peace of the gods. The once harmonious relationship between the gods and mortals started to fray, and the gods noticed how humanity's actions were changing the world. In their heavenly assembly, the gods felt that humanity had become too loud and disruptive. Enlil, particularly troubled by this, saw the earth as unrecognizable and overwhelmed by human influence. As lawlessness and moral decay spread, humans began to neglect their reverence for the gods, prompting a drastic decision. Enlil proposed a solution to cleanse the world and restore silence: a massive flood to wipe out humanity. Though Anu, the sky god, was the leader, Enlil, with authority over the earth, made this grim decision, which only Enki, the god of wisdom and water, dared to challenge. Despite Enki's opposition, the flood was approved. Unwilling to let humanity perish, Enki took matters into his own hands. He secretly warned Utnapishtim, a righteous man, instructing him to build a great ship, called the Preserver of Life, to save his family and a sample of every living creature. Utnapishtim followed Enki's instructions and blueprints meticulously, completing the ship and gathering aboard his family and various creatures. Enlil, controlling the weather, unleashed a torrential downpour that flooded the world, destroying everything in its path. However, Utnapishtim's ship weathered the storm, safeguarding the remnants of life. After the floodwaters receded, Utnapishtim emerged, offering sacrifices to the gods. Enlil, upon discovering survivors, initially raged at Enki's defiance. However, upon reflection and influenced by Enki's pleas for mercy, Enlil's anger subsided. Recognizing the resilience and potential of humanity, he blessed Utnapishtim and his wife with immortality, integrating them into the divine realm. This reconciliation underscored a renewed pact between gods and humans, marked by a rainbow as a promise that such a flood would never occur again. The gods learned the importance of mercy and wisdom, reaffirming their role not as destroyers, but as guardians of life, guiding humanity's growth under their vigilant care. Enki and Inanna. The dynamic relationship between Enki and Inanna was a fusion of affection, rivalry, and high drama. The many myths involving these two showcased their multifaceted personalities. Check out my video on Inanna if you'd like to learn more. Inanna, the vibrant goddess of love and war, often sought Enki's wisdom to augment her own formidable powers. Their interactions, however, were not without their complications. The most impactful story of Enki and Inanna revolves around a drinking contest and the sacred mez. One day, Inanna went down to Enki's kingdom under the water, where she was welcomed by Enki's servant, Isimud. He was friendly and offered her food and drinks while she was there. Inanna enjoyed the hospitality and asked to meet Enki. They met in Enki's throne room, and Enki was surprised but happy to see the beautiful goddess. They chatted and shared food and drinks together, but Inanna had a secret plan. She challenged Enki to a drinking contest, claiming she could outdrink him despite his age. Enki, never one to refuse a challenge, agreed, and Isimud brought them drinks. As they drank, Inanna was careful not to get drunk. She took small sips and pretended to drink more than she did, all while teasing Enki. When Enki was very drunk, Inanna persuaded him to give her the mez. The mez were magical items that controlled different aspects of human life and culture, like truth, victory, and even technology. Whoever had the mez could control all these things. As the night went on, Enki, in his drunken state, agreed to give Inanna all the mez. She quickly gathered them and left for her city, Uruk. Before she could leave, Enki told Isimud to let her use the boat of heaven for her journey home. When Enki woke up and sobered up, he realized the mez were gone. He asked Isimud what had happened, and Isimud told him he had given all the mez to Inanna. Enki, furious at being tricked, sent monsters and demons to stop Inanna and get the mez back before she reached Uruk. As Inanna got close to her city, she saw the creatures following her. Her loyal servant, Ninhursag, helped her defeat them and safely enter her palace, keeping the mez safe. Enki, still upset, tried to get the mez back by sending the Uru giants, but every time they tried, Ninhursag defended Inanna successfully. This happened several times until Enki finally gave up. In the end, Enki accepted that the mez would stay with Inanna in Uruk. He also let her keep the boat of heaven, acknowledging that she now controlled it because she had the relevant May. With the Mes and the Boat of Heaven under her control, Inanna rose from being just a goddess to becoming the queen of heaven and earth, proving her ambitious desire for power and control. Enki's worship extended across the expanse of ancient Mesopotamia, deeply rooted in the city of Eridu, believed to be one of the oldest cities in the world. Enki was said to have founded this very city. At the heart of Eridu was the Iabzu, a magnificent temple dedicated to Enki, standing as a monumental testament to his significance. This temple, near the mythical Abzu, the source of all fresh water, was more than a religious edifice. It was a center of life and a beacon of divine wisdom. Within the sacred walls of the Iabzu, priests and devotees engaged in daily rituals and offered prayers, invoking Enki's guidance and blessings. These activities were not mere acts of faith. They were vital communications with the divine, seeking Enki's favor for fertility, wisdom, and the well-being of their communities. Water, as his primary element, played a central role in these ceremonies, used in libations and purification rituals that symbolized life and renewal. Festivals in honor of Enki were grand affairs, marking important seasonal and agricultural cycles. These celebrations not only venerated his creation and water governance, but also his role in the invention of tools and the arts of civilization. Through songs, dances, and dramatic reenactments of myths, the people relived Enki's adventures and teachings, reinforcing the values and knowledge he bestowed upon them. Enki, the Sumerian god of water, wisdom, and creation, stands as a towering figure in the pantheon of ancient Mesopotamian deities. His stories encapsulate the complexities of existence. From creation and innovation to conflict resolution and protection, Enki's deep wisdom, coupled with his playful and sometimes mischievous nature, makes him a relatable and enduring figure in mythology. His story not only explored the depths of human and divine interactions, but also reflect the hopes, fears, and values of the ancient Mesopotamians. Today, Enki's legends continue to captivate scholars, historians, and mythology enthusiasts, offering a window into the soul of an ancient civilization. His influence is seen in the way water is still revered and conserved, in the continued pursuit of knowledge, and in the complexities of human laws and culture. As a nurturer of humanity and a guardian of civilization, Enki's legacy is a profound reminder of our ancient connections to the divine and to each other. His myths serve not only as historical or religious artifacts, but also as enduring symbols of the human capacity for creativity, adaptation, and survival. Enki's spirit, like the waters he commands, flows through the ages, ever vital, ever changing, and ever sustaining the stories of our shared past. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. What did you think? Did I miss any details? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome to the channel. I hope I earned a like and subscription in your eyes. If not, that's okay. I'll keep making videos until I do earn it. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. I truly appreciate all the views, likes, subscriptions, and kind words and messages. Without you, this channel wouldn't be here today. That's it for now. I hope to see you all in the next one.